It is the Savage Nation. This song is dedicated to a man about to have a press conference named Barack Hussein Obama. This is the theme song for the United States of America today.
My need is such, I pretend.
We could rename him Giggles. He could have a new middle name, Giggles. That'll be stolen tomorrow by the golfer. I turn it off already. Parolee's criminal past surfaces. Oakland cop killer was linked to unsolved rape day before shooting spree. But you see, the police couldn't bring him in because they were afraid that one of the vermin with a law degree would have the case thrown out because they didn't do another DNA test. This was a stone-hearted murderer walking the streets. You don't know any of this. You don't know about Mr. Mixon, who Mr. Lowenstein has sympathy for. Ron Lowenstein, a local talk show host, had sympathy for the devil. This is how liberalism operates, is that they compare his life to Mark Dunakin, Ervin Romans, Daniel Sakai, and John Hege. Those are the four officers killed by this subhuman. And by the way, we've posted the addresses for you to send money directly to their trust funds for their kids. I've donated $10,000 to the four funds, $2,500 each. I know it's not a lot of money, but it's something. And it's seed money, it's starter money. I mean, I hope we can raise a lot of money for these kids. Their fathers were stolen for them from a subhuman that shouldn't have been born. This go back to the people and the news believe in abortion. It should have applied to them. Mixon was paroled a second time in 2008. Mixon was a suspect in a murder case in Alameda in 2007. But police did not have enough evidence to charge him in the case. However, in investigating the murder case, authorities determined that Mixon had violated his parole by possessing drug paraphernalia and engaging in identity theft, forgery, fraud, and attempted grand theft. Court records indicate that Mixon was arrested in Oakland in October of 2000, charged with felony possession of cocaine for sale and felony possession of marijuana for sale. He was allowed to plead no contest and was sentenced to 3 years probation. The funeral for the slain Oakland police officer will be held Friday at the Oracle Arena, by the way, for those of you who are interested. Mixon should have been in jail for life. But because of the plea bargain presented by the district attorney in San Francisco, 4 officers are dead. The public defender who got this rat freed has a name. Her name is Public Defender Lisa Dewberry, argued for reduced bail. Lisa Dewberry, we'd like to find out what prestigious law firm she may be working for right now, although my suspicion is she's been hired by Obama probably to run some kind of fascist bureaucracy for him. San Francisco, KNEW. Robert, you're on the Savage Nation.
Hi, Mr. Savage. I've been in this business since 1991. Been listening to you for a long time. I want to say first and foremost, thank you for stepping up for us. I was listening to your talk show yesterday, and you had a caller who basically was advocating that these officers deserve what they get. You know, when you sit back and think about it, the sick-minded filth that people have about what we do each day to go out there and keep society safe, to protect people such as yourself.
Yeah, but I want you guys to understand that most Americans are on your side. We know that you're dealing with the refuse of society. We know you're dealing with the human refuse that nobody else dares touch. And we want you to understand that you should not be so delicate with them as these public defender crapheads would like you to be.
No, and there's no doubt. We wish we could do more.
The people are on your side. It's the vermin in the media. It's the vermin in the law profession who are killing you.
Yeah, well, you know, it's something we go out and deal with every day. It's something that we have to face every day. And believe
Do
it or
you
not,
know that the guy who created Cop Watch, I think you may know this, who harassed police for over 10 years, has been taken from that position to a White House position by none other than Barack Hussein Obama?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
A man who ran after the police with a video camera every time they did their jobs has been handpicked by Barack Giggles Obama to run some office of the environment in Washington, D.C. as his reward for harassing police for over 10 years. The people are on your side. Just remember that. Chicago, Patrick, next. Go ahead, please.
You know, this is sickening that 4 police officers are massacred. And make no mistake about it, they were massacred. And the only one I hear talking about it is you. And I checked. I watched from when it came on my pager on Sunday morning. I'm looking to see who's going to cover this. These guys are massacred. I also have a question for the Homeland Security and President Obama. Where's money for training? I deal with police officers daily, and they all talk about the same thing, suburban, city, whatever. We don't have the money for training. They have to go train on their own. They don't get to go to the range and practice. They don't get to do these things. No, because there's no money for it. They're taking sensitivity classes.
Patrick, I want to ask you something. I'm covering a story that's actually quite local, nationally, for 2 days running, at some risk to my own career. And yet I sense that America needs to know about this story because these cops were killed because of the liberal mentality of the Bay Area. And the very same liberal mentality is now running the United States of America. Our Marines and our soldiers and our airmen are going to get killed the same exact way, precisely because of rules of engagement, precisely because they have to hesitate. Remember, it was Obama who released men from Guantanamo saying they had been tortured. These stone-hearted murderers are now going to be loosed on the streets of America. What do you think is going to happen as a result?
You stole the words out of my mouth. Rules of engagement. You know, the rules of engagement for a police officer are deadly. They're for him.
Well, do you know how I defined it on my website, michaelsavage.com? I said 4 cops executed because of rules of engagement, liberal rules of engagement, which are, did you read it all? I'll give it to you now, which is die first, shoot later.
Right, and the judges.
That's the new rules of engagement. Starting with George Bush for our U.S. Marines in Iraq is die first, shoot later. And if you dare shoot the killer first, you get court-martialed like Lieutenant Colonel Chesani. I understand. That's why I'm covering it. Arizona, Fred, you're on the air. Go ahead, please, with Michael Savage and millions of others.
Dr. Savage, you're the greatest. I got 23 years of Chicago PD, and you're my hero, guy. You're really bringing out the facts.
You know what? It means a lot to me, Fred. I really do like hearing from the real men of America. I don't meet many of them in the world that I live in. And it's nice to know that there are millions of people out there who agree with me.
It's right on the money. There are guys out there that are hesitant in firing their weapons because of all the liberal morons, all the stuff that's...
Well, I don't know what's going to... I suspect that this is going to change after this. I think that the cops themselves need to get organized. I think they need to overcome their own bureaucracies. They need to go out in mass, 1,000 of them, outside the offices of the public defender. They need to get 1,000 policemen outside the public defender's office. They need to go outside Gavin Newsom's house. They need to go outside Ron Dellum's house, the mayor of Oakland, and they need to start chanting. Whatever they have to chant, they have to show their force. They have to put the fear of God into these liberal patsies who are killing the cops. I look, if I were a cop, I'd risk my career. I would organize 10,000 men outside the mayor's house, and I would demand the end of the scrutiny on the police. Most of them are gang members. You know that, don't you? You know that most of the people who have police watch groups are fronts for gang members. You understand how this works, don't you? Or are you too stupid to understand this? I'm not going to do this much more. I'm doing it because it needs to be done. The thin blue line needs your help right now. The day they're gone, we are all at greater risk than we are today. And I'm not doing it for ratings. There's only a minuscule number of police who listen to this show. I'm doing it because it's right. Period. End of story.
Savage.